I'm riding home tonight amidst the really tragic and disturbing news of the awful death of the MP Jo Cox. And from what I've been hearing on the news, it seems that she was in her constituency holding one of her regular advice surgeries, and a male individual attacked her, shot her 3 times and stabbed her repeatedly. She was rushed to hospital and very, very sadly has passed away this afternoon. And it's troubled me from the perspective of when I was a local councillor. I used to do advice surgeries, and yeah, I wouldn't think twice often about being in a school hall or community hall by myself. One of my colleagues, who was a female, yeah, she would do them as well alone, and it's a sad day for our democracy and for living in a so-called civilised society, I think. We're very, very quick to I don't know, to abuse our elected representatives. Some will say, look, you know, you put yourself up for election, you're fair game. And I think to a certain extent that's fair. Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with expressing strong-held views in quite a strident way with an elected politician, particularly holding them to account if you don't think they're actually delivering for you. But the line is crossed when you start abusing people. I mean, I won't go into much detail, but there was not once a time when I took a decision as a local councillor, and it made the newspapers, and I had completely unsolicited stuff from individuals. And I remember particularly someone from Scotland. I remember, yeah, this was in London, so quite some way away, who sent me a cutting of that particular newspaper, and wrote on a side of A4 that he thought I was a total and utter C word, and that he hoped that me and my family died very painfully, which, yeah, that crosses the line. And we're very quick to dumb down our politicians, call them lazy, that they're in it for themselves, they don't stand for what people want to, what's the point of voting, they're all as bad as one another. And today, Jo Cox has lost her life doing the job she was elected to do. And I think there needs to be a serious discussion about the role that our elected representatives have, how they're treated generally by the media, by society on a wider scale, and yeah, people's personal security. You know, we want our politicians to be close to the people, to be easily accessible, that we can go and express our views. But frankly, if stuff like this happens, can we really afford to take that risk? And today a piece of our democracy dies. Our politicians naturally now will become less visible and less accessible. and that's a really sad state of affairs. I don't really know what more I can say, but I can't imagine how her husband and her poor 2 young children, I think they're both under 5 or 6, are now going to have to grow up without a mother. It's tragic, and how something like this can happen. Well, it does happen, and it can happen, but it shouldn't happen. And I hope that in the years to come, that her family, who God knows how they're feeling, can take just the tiniest crumb of comfort that Jo died doing something that she passionately believed in. Yeah, she stood up, she was counted, she was passionate, she stood for what she believed in. It was very, very dear to her, as it is for most politicians. Not all, but most. And I hope her family at some stage can take some comfort in knowing that, and feeling very proud of her. Oh, very sad.